So it's the SEC Big East Challenge. First time ever for Syracuse here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's just the second time the two schools have met. First time was an overtime thriller in the 1995 NCAA tournament. Arkansas won that game 96-94.
You and I visited with Jim Boeheim before the ball game. I said, Coach, you're the first guy I've ever known to make the trip from Fayetteville, New York to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
The only guy I've ever known to do it.
Not exactly a straight line.
There is not a straight line.
Underway, Syracuse with the basketball. Here's Carter Williams, who has been spectacular already all the way to the iron, but can't get it to go.
Boy, he is a slithery 6'6" point guard, though.
Razorbacks have had trouble shooting from beyond the three-point arc. In particular, that's been a bugaboo, but Wade, who just had the ball, number 1 in white, can really stick it from there. Mickelson's pass is knocked away, out of play by Syracuse.
Mickelson is going to have to be a shot threat inside that zone. That time he caught it, he was thinking pass before the ball ever got to his paws. He must be a shooter for Arkansas tonight.
On the move, Young trying to take the baseline. Another guy who can slither in for two, but not that time. Rebound batted out high. Syracuse has it. Carter Williams nearly turned it over. Got the pass underneath. The reverse is up and good by C.J. Fair.
Now, first 2 points, shots in the box. Syracuse can really throw body blows at Arkansas around the rim with their size.
Mickelson with a low block touch, a reverse. Nicely done for two.
I just think he's a huge key for Arkansas in this game because he's 6'10". He can face up and knock down shots, and he has really good footwork.
They have a nice, big, loud crowd here tonight, and this place can become deafening if they keep doing this, forcing turnovers. Bad and airborne pass to Wade. Young to penetrate into the lane. He skips and banks in two.
Arkansas very aggressive in this building off of a turnover or a missed shot. They will run it right up your backside and can beat you off the bounce with quickness.
Syracuse out to a 4-0 record. They've yet to be tested. They're averaging 25 points a win so far. Nice dish down low, and Christmas couldn't get the stuff. Fast break, Razorback strike on the other end, Madden with the slam. And it has gotten loud in here. And that didn't take long. Jimmy, exactly the start that Arkansas needed if they were going to go toe-to-toe with Syracuse tonight.
They cannot go against Syracuse's 2-3 zone for 40 minutes. They have to score in their conversion. So far, they've been good.
Trish picks it up underneath, and despite the air ball, he drops it in. Off the miss by Trish.
Boy, the muscle that Syracuse can throw at you at all 5 positions. Those are 2 really big guards that Syracuse can bang on the boards with. I talked about Hunter Mickelson's footwork, the spin, the awareness to know where he is, and the long reach to get to the other side of the rim as a shot maker. And again, one bounce, bam!
Long range off the back iron by Wade. On a run out now, the point guard slithering in, and a whistle and a foul before the block shot with 17.5 minutes to go. Carter Williams, as he got hit and will go to the line to shoot 2.
Obi, early in this game, this kid's taking the ball anywhere he wants to take it, and he's doing it with great efficiency. Arkansas has busted out with a quick lead, but their inability to control this kid off the dribble would be a big concern if I'm Mike Anderson.
Wade with the foul. Michael Carter Williams, 83% from the foul line. Mike Anderson, we just had a shot of Mike there, and a longtime Arkansas assistant years ago on the team that won the 1994 national championship at Arkansas. And he said the people here want this style of play.
Absolutely.
Frenetic, fast-paced, press you to death, force the ball to be turned over. He said that's what they're craving. Mickelson got it. Nice little fall away.
You know what? He was making shots at 2:30 this afternoon, and he's making shots at 7:30 tonight.
On the drive, Fair blew right by everybody. C.J. Fair for the slam.
Syracuse is not messing around with shooting jump shots to start this game.
6'8" junior from Baltimore. Boy, these two teams going at each other underneath. Big rebound by Carter Williams to lead the break by himself. The kick out into the corner, and Trish, that one rattles out. Arkansas wants to run. Madden on the alley-oop, slam by B.J. Young. Wow. They have the crowd at Bud Walton revved. Trish inside, lays it up and in on a tough drive. A tremendous pace early, Jimmy.
Syracuse, though, scoring with ease to start this game in the half court. Arkansas getting it done in transition. Syracuse getting it done in the half court and really getting it done on one pass or less.
Wade, tremendous shooting range, using his screen there off to Madden.
There's such a big, long zone. It's a 2-3 zone that actually becomes a 4-1 zone, and I'll talk about it as this game goes on.
Young missed ugly. That one clanged away, and the rebound cradled by Fair.
Syracuse getting on the boards last year. Teams got 37% of their misses against Syracuse. They've done a better job so far this season.
Sutherland buries a three. James Sutherland, who had made 9 of 20 beyond the arc coming into tonight, knocks down his first one.
Game changes when he comes in. He could very well be the sixth man in the Big East this year. Boeheim's had a history of guys, Chris Joseph and Dion Waiters.
Mickelson with an errant pass. He throws it away. It'll be Syracuse ball when we come back. But Arkansas getting a fast break going and getting this against Arizona State. As a freshman, he dropped 28 on Connecticut. So you're right. He can be explosive. No one's having any trouble getting shots up tonight. 19 field goals already attempted in the game in 4.5 minutes. So they are putting the pedal to the metal. On top, Sutherland, and another three, a long-range triple. He's come off and gotten 2 big ones.
Boy, he really looks good shooting that ball on tape and in person. Watch him in pregame warm-up. He warms up with a game purpose.
Played very well for Syracuse when Fab Melo was academically ineligible last year in the NCAA tournament. That pass thrown away by Arkansas. They've done that a couple of times. Last 2 times down.
I think you've got to get to the second or third side of the floor against Jim Boeheim's zone. They move their wings up high. It almost resembles a 4-1 zone because of how high they bring their wings and how long they are. And Arkansas is going to have to be very selective when to punch, when not to punch.
Razorbacks pressing again. The other thing about the Boeheim zone is that it's a flexible zone. He'll move those guys around.
Yeah, he will give you the shot that he wants you to take. And if you make 3 or 4 of them, then they'll make the adjustment.
Sutherland, they're going to pay very close attention to him. Carter Williams with a teardrop short, picks off his own rebound and lays it in.
For me, the whole key of the ball game is this kid's ability to take the ball where he wants to take it. Slithery, strong, tough, quick. Great reads by number 1.
He's led Syracuse to a 10-0 run and a 17-10 lead. That has quieted the building here.
Ball has got to get to that SEC label on the floor.
Here's Bell off the bench and off target. He's a tremendous young shooter. Freshman out of Bartlett, Tennessee, and they really think he can be a zone buster. And they may need him tonight in a big way.
Look how small that zone is up top as opposed to the size that Syracuse throws at you with their guards up top. Completely different look out of the same shape.
Long one by Carter Williams. He front rimmed it, battle for the rebound. The Razorbacks have it. They're going to run on every opportunity. Wagner, nice dish inside and a foul. Stops the clock with 13:51 to go here in the first half. That foul will go against Baimusa Keita, the 6'10 junior from Senegal. That'll send Bell to the line. We talked about what a good shooter he is. The all-time leading scorer at Bartlett High in Tennessee.
Think about this for Mike Anderson's system, how they press and create havoc. They rely on three-point shooters tremendously. He did it at UAB as a head coach. He did it at Missouri. They relied on him when he was an assistant at Arkansas. So far this season, after 5 games, this kid at the free throw stripe leads them with only 5 3-point makes. That's what they're lacking right now in their arsenal.
Bell, a 75% foul shooter. 5-point lead for Syracuse.
Interesting, Mike Anderson backs off of his pressure after the made free throw. That's a 1-1-3. And Arkansas will trap out of it, and there's no rhyme or reason when they come with the heat.
Fair looking for his jump shot, double up, somehow got it up there and drew the foul with 13:34 to go. Despite heavy pressure, Fair coming in number 2 on the team in rebounding. Played a lot of minutes last year for Jim Boeheim. Jim was talking about before the game, he thinks a lot of people are not focusing on college basketball, how many good teams there are early on. You know, he's talking about Florida, talking about Indiana, talking about Duke, and some teams, not necessarily those, but some being much better early than many thought.
I agree 100%. I've already heard the groundswell of different folks talking about there is no dominant team, there is no great team. First of all, who cares if there is no great team right now? This is November. The national title trophy is not going to say, but there was no great team. You start breaking down Florida and Duke and Indiana, Michigan, and start preparing to beat those teams, you'll come out of that film room saying there are some great teams right now in college ball. I guarantee you.
You see the drought for Arkansas. Turnover there and a traveling violation by Williams. Fair across to break the press. Sutherland bottled up, trying to get out of the trap. Thrown away. It'll go back over to Arkansas.
You absolutely cannot get careless with that basketball on the side. Arkansas will saddle you up the sideline and trap the breath out of you. And once that trap comes, you better flash to that elbow on the ball side and get it out of there.
But you know, about 7 minutes into the game, that's the first Syracuse turnover.
It is.
So Arkansas coming in 3-2 losses to Arizona State and Wisconsin. Trying to spring a major upset here in the early going tonight in Fayetteville.
Ball has got to get to the free throw line and then make a play.
Clark gave up the dribble. Shot clock down to 13. On the attack, Scott, airborne, draws the whistle. He'll go to the line for two. Cody Clark, a junior out of Birmingham, Alabama. Very high energy player.
Well, so far Arkansas has not settled for long jump shots over the length of Syracuse. They're being patient. When they find a crack, they're sticking their nose right in there, playing tough.
Carter Williams with the foul. Well, a win over number 18 Texas is the only thing between a Big 12 title and a trip to the Fiesta Bowl for Kansas State. 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch the game on ABC Saturday night. Presented by Windows 8.
You know the importance of that ball game tomorrow in this part of the country? That's going to conclude the regular season. And Jeff Long, the AD at Arkansas, has said that that's when he will go to work, getting ready to hire the next head coach.
Pass tipped off of Syracuse and out of play. And Anderson loves the effort. Nice jump pass inside for Clark, but he's bottled up. Outside Bell, a long one. He airmailed it.
I don't know why Cody Clark would hesitate and ball fake. He's only 6'5". All he's doing, allowing the defense to swallow him up.
Sutherland left open straight on. Got another one. That's his third already.
You have got to tag Sutherland. You have to be there on the catch. The guy's 6'8". He's going to get vision of the rim every time.
He is automatic. He's 3 for 3 beyond the three-point line. 22-13.
Watch the wings down low. At times, both of them will get the free throw line extended, and it is such a high zone that takes away that corner overload pass.
That zone giving them a lot of trouble. The Syracuse zone eating up Arkansas right now. Razorbacks with another Syracuse over the years. Boeheim's really active. Sutherland again, and there's another one. That's his fourth three-pointer. They can't guard him right now.
Has he had to dribble the ball one time into his shot? Not one time has Sutherland had enough heat on him to make him bounce the ball into a shot.
Came in averaging 45% from three. Jim Boeheim founded basketball, that Black Tie Gala, to raise money for cancer-related issues. He's raised over $4.5 million and so active in Coaches versus Cancer, a prostate cancer survivor as well. Cooney had that one all ready to go. Here's Fair to drive in. He's denied and fouled. C.J. Fair will go to the line. Trevor Cooney lost it on the dribble. Would have been an easy two for Syracuse. Powell with the foul.
Arkansas turning the ball over at a high percentage rate to start the game, and Arkansas no offensive rebounds. And you have to make Syracuse pay for playing that 2-3 zone.
Syracuse handling the ball very effectively. They've been in possession 20 times. Have only turned it over twice.
And that's good, as active as Arkansas is. And I think Arkansas is a team, Dave, that's really good at getting a hand on you and a hand off of you defensively. You have to play right through that contact, and Syracuse has done it well.
So Wagner takes to the bench. Freshman will sit. Fair with another one coming. He hits 74%. Junior from Baltimore, Maryland. And He puts Syracuse up now comfortably, 27-13. And the run now for the Orange is now 20-3 over the last 5 minutes.
Only one time so far in the game has the ball gotten to the SEC logo on the floor. And it is a must against this zone that the ball gets there. There it is.
Inside, Powell blocked and fouled by Sutherland, who denied him in close. 11:07 left.
That's the spot. That is the trigger spot against Syracuse's zone. It always has been. And there's multiple ways to get the ball to that spot. You can go baseline and come back out. You can start it there and go down to the rim. But, boy, Arkansas has got to start getting productivity from the sweet spot inside the zone.
Marshawn Powell, a junior. He's made it back from a knee injury that Mike Anderson said put the team last year in a state of shock. Just 2 games into the season, he was their best player. They wound up going 18-14, Jimmy, but did not earn an invite to a postseason tournament. They probably would have had he been able to stay healthy all year.
He's averaging a double-double the first 2 games. It was like a 20-point, 10-rebound double-double.
Trish directing traffic. Upstate New York native. Sutherland, that's certainly his range if he wants to shoot it from there again, and he does. There's another one.
Absolutely incredible. First of all, the stroke and the confidence by Sutherland, but Arkansas's inability to make that kid bounce the ball into a shot.
5 for 5, 15 points. That's his season average, and another turnover by the Razorbacks. Syracuse gives it right back and a foul on the play with 10:28 to go. Here in the first half, just catching and shooting.
He's 6'8". He's knocked down 5 3-point shots, and all of them have been just like that. Boom. He has space and he has pace. Space to vision of the rim and pace to shoot it in nice rhythm. Every one of these shots have been a catch, rise, and fire. Arkansas has got to make him dribble. It's that simple.
Foul went on Qualls of Arkansas, and the baseline is fair with a miss and tipped out of play. It'll go the other way and be Razorback ball, trailing by 15 at home.
Boy, the effect of the whiteout has been eliminated by James Sutherland. There may not be a better 6th man in college basketball this year, not only in the Big East, but in the country.
He scored as many points himself as the Razorbacks have tonight. Halfway through the first half, Madden drops the pass for Mickelson along the baseline. Powell with the rebound, stripped by Cooney. Nice job by him to knock it free and prevent what would have been an easy layup.
Syracuse averaging 7 blocks a ball game. And on tape, they're really disciplined about being the second guy to leave the floor. Marshawn Powell doesn't have great explosiveness, and the guards of Syracuse, they get involved in the play.
Cooney redshirted last year. Redshirt freshman jumping in young, but he gives it up. B.J. Young averaging 21 a game. He's had a quiet first half. Not a good sign for Arkansas.
But I think you got to screen the top of that zone as well.
Powell, right in that spot you said they need to get shots from.
That's the sweet spot. Now, I think it's interesting. Syracuse, they are a 2-3 zone. So what do you do against it? You know what I do? I go and I watch what Syracuse does against a 2-3 zone. What does Syracuse do against a 2-3 zone? They screen the top of it. They always screen the top of the 2-3 zone. They know what hurts it.
Trish put the shoulder down. He drew the foul. That'll go against Rashad Madden, his first. 30-17, the Orange, and they have the ball in the baseline.
I watched Syracuse against Colgate, who was playing a 2-3 zone. They screened it, and they get their playmaker in the middle of the floor.
Wade with the theft. Nice bounce pass. Well-run break up and in by B.J. Young.
Arkansas has to have a couple of 6-8-0 runs per half to stay in the ball game. This could be the start of one right here if Syracuse doesn't take care of the ball.
Well, now they've got the crowd backing them again. Fair, traveling. Syracuse gives it up.
Against the pressure of Arkansas, it can be just as extreme in the half court as the full court. You can either be ready or you can be rattled. That time Syracuse was rattled.
Arkansas, for the first time tonight, scored off a turnover in their last trip down. Now trying to do it again with 8:40 to go in the half.
Arkansas trying to sneak B.J. Young into that sweet spot and be a scorer.
Here's Young, taken away, however, by Fair. Now they have numbers of 3-on-2. Up top, Sutherland with the stuff, and he'll go to the line as well.
Wow.
What a half he's having. He is having some first half here in Fayetteville.
And again, he has not been forced to bounce the ball into a shot. Syracuse, they are so good at throwing over the top of you and making that pass right there. Usually it's Michael Carter-Williams making the pass. This time it's Fair. But because they are set up in that zone, Dave O'Brien, they are always organized to flood the floor and run their lanes as well as anyone in college ball.
They finally missed something, and it was a foul shot. Pretty good foul shooter, too, at 80%. 32-19. Wade here with the ball. He shot from three-point land 47.6% last year. That led the Southeastern Conference. Powell bowling his way in. Not there. It's over the top of the backboard and picked up by Sutherland. Brandon Trish, Fair, all by himself in the corner. Rebound tipped, and Trish got hit with 7:57 to go. So Trish will go to the line to shoot two. It has been James Sutherland's half so far.
He has been terrific.
Stanford.
Meanwhile, back in Fayetteville, Jim Boeheim's team looking very sharp early, 32-19 on Arkansas. Brandon Trish at the line. Of course, prominent Syracuse bloodlines here. His uncle Howard Trish and his cousin Jason Hart both played for Boeheim. Under 8 minutes to go, and they're going to bring a substitute in from the Syracuse side. That'll be Jeremy Grant. Talk about bloodlines. He's the son of the former NBA player Harvey Grant, nephew of Horace Grant.
And this is his type game. A long athlete that can run and quick.
Freshman out of Hyattsville, Maryland. Wade gives it up for Madden, and they swing it now for the point guard.
And again, watch how high the back line of that zone will come. That wing was all the way out to free throw extended.
Wade got a good look. Christmas hauls in the rebound for the Orange. Syracuse picked to finish second in the preseason Big East coaches poll. On the drive, up and off the iron by Trish. The lane opened up for him. Razorbacks want to romp. Young, and the foul. He'll go to the line. So B.J. Young pressing the matter. The St. Louis sophomore for a three-point play.
B.J. Young understands that the free throw line on his end of the floor is a yield sign. It's not a stop sign. And I've heard that this year described that when you're bringing the ball up, that free throw line is a stop sign. It's not. It's a yield sign. What do you do at a yield sign? You read the traffic. You read the flow. And the traffic around you determines what you do at a yield sign. B.J. Young read at that time awfully well. The traffic didn't stop him. He takes it to the rim.
You sound like a much kinder version of my driver's ed instructor. Never a lot of fun for him or me. Here's Young trying to beat everybody down the floor. Lays it up, and another foul. Now B.J. Young trying to put Arkansas right on his back. He's back to the line.
You know, he's the guy that's capable of having that 6-0, 8-0 run that I talked about for Arkansas. And he's not a great defender. He seldom scores off of defense, and this time he does. And again, that defender was on his hip. Advantage offense. B.J. Young to the rack.
Foul on Brandon Trish. That was number 1 on Trish. And a three-point play. The closest that Arkansas has been in a while. Young is the man doing it with 11 points.
It's the first real test for Syracuse against the pressure, and they throw it to the third row. Jim Boeheim will take a timeout because he knows this building can explode, and he feels an explosion getting ready to happen.
We will take the break as well. Bud wanted by Corona Extra. Tonight it's the SEC Big East Challenge here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Jimmy Dykes, Dave O'Brien with you. Right now the Big East leading by 1 in the challenge. Madden trying to force his way in. Nothing but orange shirts around him, and they'll turn it over. No timeout. He did get the timeout before the turnover. So 33-24. Arkansas takes a timeout with 6:38 to go. Syracuse ranked number 6 in the country right now. Arkansas unranked, trying to spring the big upset. Jimmy, take us inside the play.
Well, talk the defense, and it's so critical for the middle guy in the zone for Syracuse. And this time it's by Musakita, who is the best guy that Syracuse has this year. Watch it. He gets back, and watch him go to work. Talking, pointing, directing traffic, steps up, becomes a wall, stays wide, doesn't reach and foul, forms another wall inside. He's talking the defense. He is feeding tremendous confidence to the 4 guys around him. He only plays about 15 minutes a game, but you talk to coaches in the Big East, and Syracuse's defense goes to another level when that big dude's in the middle of it.
Arkansas to check it in from the baseline. Madden to put it in. Young off the screen.
Good screen. That was a very good screen up top by Ja'Cory Williams to free up Young.
Fouled by Christmas, who went for the block. And that'll send Young to the line. Young right now on the Wooden and Naismith watch lists. He was second team all SEC as a freshman. He had a 31-point game against Florida.
Maybe he's only shooting 66% from the free throw stripe. And I was watching him today at the shoot around. He gets the ball at the side of his head. Before he releases, the ball gets to his right ear. See that? He's almost, because he's doing that, he's launching the ball instead of shooting the ball. That shot elbow should be going up, and it goes back on B.J. Young's free throw.
Well, he's a sophomore now. Can you coach a guy to be a better foul shooter?
Absolutely.
At this point?
Absolutely. Sometimes hard to do in the season, but you can do it.
Carter Williams gives it up. Long one coming from Trish. No. Rebound stolen away. Nice job by Cody Clark, who's done terrific work on the glass for them. Very high energy player. Back to that foul shot.
See how the ball got right beside his right ear? At that point, the wrist has to kind of launch the ball instead of getting the ball up with nice arc.
Sutherland again. He has not missed out there. He finally does. Rebound tipped and controlled by B.J. Young.
Well, for Arkansas to have this thing down to 5-6 point game at the half would be huge.
You betcha. They have the momentum now. It has swung in their favor, at least for the moment. They're now on a 6-0 run.
Arkansas has been good, Dave, when they've screened the top. There's a screen.
Bell launches. That didn't touch anything, and it's out. So not what they wanted there. Anthlon Bell, who was only 5 out of 18 from 3. They recruited him to come in and hit shots just like that. They're not falling early for the freshman. Sutherland attacks. Teardrop, no. Rebound, Trish, no. Can't stuff it in. Christmas with great hustle, but he's on the line and turns it over to Arkansas.
I am not messing around with somebody comes towards me in Bud Walton Arena this year. Because last year, I got smoked.
Christmas come early.
Yeah, it would have been Christmas come early had he come over the table. We are not messing around with that kind of action this year.
That would have been right in your lap.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah. Young decides to take it. Got it! Big shot for B.J. Young to make it a 5-point game. And now he's on fire. Trish, collision there midcourt. Young went down, but no whistle.
For the last 4 or 5 minutes, Arkansas has been better at keeping Williams out of the lane.
Fair, tough shot. Rebound right into the hands of Coleman, and he draws the foul.
Woo! You talk about one guy whipping 2 or 3. Dajuan Coleman just did it. I love this kid's body, 6'9", 288, New York Mr. Basketball. He's kind of a poor man's Jared Sullinger. I think that's what he's going to grow into. I think he's got a chance to be special.
Well, his weight was a big part of the story as he went through high school in SU's backyard there in Jamesville, New York. He's been reported to be as high as 300 pounds. He led Jamesville DeWitt to 3 consecutive state titles.
You heard me talking about it in Maui with Devontae Gardner from Marquette. In basketball as a player, you can either be getting in shape or you can be getting better as a basketball player. You cannot do both at the same time, and this kid understands it.
Young needs help, bounces for Bell. Williams lets it go.
Bad shot.
Not a shot they needed there.
Not from him.
34-28. Trish, the senior, one of 2 seniors for Jim Boeheim. Sutherland bounces on the line for Coleman. Backing in strong. It won't drop. A fight for the board. Here comes Arkansas. Young on Trish. Blows right by him. Can't connect, and it'll be Syracuse ball. Tipped out of play.
Going awfully close to Coleman coming over the back of an Arkansas player. But I love the effort of Coleman to run the floor from offense to defense. I mean, he was under the rim when Arkansas got possession of the ball. Now look at him coming. That's a foul. That is completely over the back of an Arkansas player on that baseline.
4:22 to go here in the first half. It has tightened up. Looked like Syracuse might run away for a while. Another wing jumper and good. Count the basket, three-pointer, and there's going to be an offensive foul on the play. Sutherland drills another one.
The goal is going to count because the foul occurred while the ball was in the air.
Watch the right side of the lane here. Watch the back of that lane.
Yeah, it's Coleman throwing the guy out.
That shot was already in the air.
Yeah, but you know what? It was a lot closer than I originally thought.
Yes, it was.
I thought it was clearly out of his hands when the foul occurred.
And Sutherland's been amazing as he has hit 6 out of 7 beyond that three-point line. Now Williams at the line. We'll give you another look at that foul.
When did the foul occur? That's what you go by. The foul occurs. Oh, yeah, a terrific call by this crew because I tell you, that was a bang-bang call. And the officials right on top of it to see when the foul occurred and when was the shot released. That is the key to making that call, and they did it well.
Williams makes two, 37-30. Carter Williams. Against the pressure, they break it. Fair. Nice dish. Coleman with a dribble down. Tips it up and in.
Shots in the box. And Dajuan Coleman continues to throw body punches at Arkansas as well they should. With that size advantage inside, that is the strength.
Syracuse back on top by 9. Madden jitterbugging in, stripped down a whistle. 3:46 left. We will take a break here with Syracuse on top 39-30. And when the Arkansas team went to Italy this summer on a playing tour, they found a little bit of home in Florence. We'll explain coming up here at Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville as they look for the upset against Syracuse. But tell you what, Jimmy, they better find somebody who can find James Sutherland. He already has 20 points, 7 out of 9 shooting, 6 for 7 from 3.
And again, for him to continue to catch the ball without being tagged on the catch of the ball is something that Mike Anderson's going to have to talk about to his kids at halftime. But this kid is lighting them up.
Already a career high in three-pointers made. Madden at the line. Tightens it up, 39-32.
I'm serious. I don't think Sutherland has bounced the ball one time in this game. He's made jump shots, and they threw it to him once at the rim.
Well, his range has been sensational. Hitting virtually everything he has taken. Carter Williams giving it up in the corner here for Cooney. Here's Sutherland again. Off the front of the iron, tipped and controlled. 7-point game.
Well, look how high Sutherland is. I mean, that's the 4-1 I'm talking about right there. That shaped him to a 4-around-1 zone defense.
Wade can't find any room. Wagner on the wing. Wagner's only 5'10", the freshman.
Tough for him to make entry passes at that size. He's got to have some help up top with some screening action.
Shot clock's down to 8 now for Arkansas. Now to 5. Young off the screen. Can't nail it. Another chance, though, as the rebound came right to Clark.
Well, I'm not sure you'll get a better shot against that zone than Cody Clark had on that offensive rebound. Be a threat.
Under 3 minutes and a half. Young dishes inside, back out to Young from Clark. Tough shot there, but that won't drop. Over the top. Oh, fair, hanging on the rim after the shot went off the fingertips.
And what does Jim Boeheim do? He just stands up, puts his hands down. Jim Boeheim's guys have always played with great confidence on the road. I tell you why. It's a credit to him. Coaches have body language too. And this guy never gets rattled. He stays calm. He picks and chooses when to get after his guys. But they are always good on the road, and I credit Jim Boeheim and his body language on the sidelines.
Well, Young harassed underneath, couldn't finish. Great crossover here, but again thrown away by Syracuse. Cody Clark back outside for Wagner.
That's a shot.
Wade, the open shooter. Now the fight for the rebound, loose on the baseline, and it'll go the other way, Syracuse ball.
Well, those are the shots that you have to drop against Syracuse. The ball had gone inside and kicked out to a wide open Mardrakus Wade, who led the SEC last year in three-point percentage.
Arkansas bringing the pressure.
Michael Carter-Williams, I don't think he's come out of this game, Dave. And Arkansas has a way to get into your legs the last 5 minutes.
Down the lane, what a pretty shot off the window for Carter-Williams. Came in averaging 10 points and 9 assists per game. 1:48 to go and a whistle stopping the clock here, and the foul will go against Sutherland. We told you about the trip that Arkansas and Mike Anderson made to Italy. They had a tremendous time visiting Florence, and there they met up with Il Porcino, the pig. And how about this, when they came home, they realized there's an exact replica of Il Porcino right out in front of one of the sororities here.
Only things you would see in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and Italy.
And Italy, of course, in Florence. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Young at the line. Big first half for him. 16 points for B.J. Young, the St. Louis sophomore.
He and Bryce Cotton from Providence are the only two kids out of the Power 6 conference averaging at least 20 points, 3.5 boards, and 3 assists. A well-rounded game for both those guys.
Coleman needing help, gets it off to Fair.
Remember, I said for Arkansas to have this thing 5 or 6 points would be huge at the half.
But Coleman couldn't finish on the reverse. Got a great dish from Carter-Williams. Young pressing the matter down the lane. He slams it in.
That's a tee. They're going to team up, and that's the right call.
Hanging on the rim, B.J. Young flying down the lane. He's going to argue his case here, but they have whistled him for a technical.
It's going to be an empty argument because there's no one underneath B.J. Young right there. And that extra hold and the extra pull-up is what got him. I think he hung there for about 1,001, but then when he went ahead and pulled himself up, that extra emphatic move got him stuck.
He almost had the look of a kid caught in a cookie jar after he hung on that rim, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and Dave, that's a huge play. I mean, you've given Syracuse 2 points off that play, and the building was exploding. Boom. Now, if he drops right there, he's fine, but see the pull-up? That's what got him.
Well, it's a major swing here with 1:29 to go. It stunts the momentum, and Syracuse gets the ball back.
Sure. That is a huge play. How competitive can you be without losing your discipline? Always critical in a tight game.
That's a young team Mike Anderson has. Fair in the open floor, knocked away from him. And Syracuse will set it up in the waning seconds of the first half. An entertaining first half because this man has been on fire. Sutherland with a miss. He hasn't missed many at all. He has 22 points. Williams with the swing. Wagner darts it inside, and the foul. It'll be Wade going to the line. With 1:03 to go. Mardrakus Wade, the junior.
Dave, against Jim Boeheim's zone, you want to play below and behind the zone. Below and behind the zone. And that time, Mardrakus Wade's cut was both. It was below and it was behind the zone.
Fair with the foul.
On the right side of your screen, boom, see that cut? It's below the top of the zone and behind the top of the zone. Well done by number 1.
Wade's scoring has been down a little bit this season so far. He's not shooting as much as they would like him to, particularly beyond the three-point line, but he can be very dangerous. 5-point game. Cross-court, Cooney. Pulls up, pops, can't drain it. Williams snags the rebound.
I don't think that's the shot Jim Boeheim wanted from Cooney. If you're going to try to go 2 for 1, you want to make sure that you're getting 2 good shots and not 1 bad shot and 1 average shot.
They've cut it to 5 twice here. Wagner round the back pass. 11 on the shot clock. Young took a look at the clock now. Cooney right up in him.
Face up and be a threat.
Powell gives it up for Young. Got to get a shot in the air. Scoop shot. Heavy traffic. No.
Yeah, I think Marshawn Powell should have been the shooter. He faced up and should have shot that basketball.
Cooney open this time. Battle for the rebound. Final seconds. 6 seconds before halftime. Fair had to adjust the shot, got it up in the air, and the first half will come to an end right there with Syracuse on top 43-38. The crowd not happy with the technical foul that went against Arkansas, but it looked to us to be the right call. Look at these two, Sutherland and Young, going toe-to-toe. 22 for Sutherland, exploding off the bench with 6 3-pointers.
And we are already way ahead of where that game was before us. Think about that.
We could use the break. Let's go to Ravi and the gang for the UPS halftime report. 71%. Sutherland and Young certainly have been the big scoring stories in what was a back-and-forth first half of basketball. First time Syracuse has ever come here to Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's just the second meeting ever between the two schools.
I'm sure Jim Boeheim feels like they should be up double figures. Arkansas happy to only be down 5.
Powell going in strong. He'll draw the foul immediately in the first 8 seconds of the second half.
You know, the quickness that Arkansas can put on you has bothered Syracuse at times in this ball game. And as a result, that's why Arkansas has gone to the free throw stripe now 19 times with this free throw attempt.
C.J. Fair picked up his second foul, put Powell at the line. Powell 2 years ago lit up Kentucky for 22 points and 10 rebounds in an upset of the Wildcats. So he can lead them as well. More pressure now from the Hogs here. Carter Williams trying to get free. Trish, blocking foul against Arkansas with 19:42 to go.
Arkansas came in, Dave, averaging 22 fouls per game. And that's way too many, and that's been a big point of emphasis for Mike Anderson the last few days in practice. They've done a better job so far in this game.
Foul number 2 on Wade. And the Orange will set it up. Their last season in the Big East, moving to the ACC next year. Trish lofts one up. Got a good look, but it wouldn't drop for him. On a run, Powell. The spin move. And a foul. 19:25 to go. And you can see Marshawn Powell really commanding the ball, wanting to get much more involved here in the early seconds of the second half, and he'll go to the line at 71%.
Now, Obi, you mentioned Syracuse making the move to a new league, and I still continue to think the ACC is vulnerable. Coach K said it a couple of weeks ago. I think he has as good a pulse for that league as anyone you could listen to. Think about this. The exit fee for leaving the Big East, $50 million, the exit fee. You know what the exit fee is for leaving the SEC? None. The SEC has no exit fee.
Is that right?
That is a strength right there, and a strong, confident conference. I think the ACC will be looking at.
Count that one. Fair went strong to the iron, draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Moments ago he picked up his third foul, but he went after that iron, fouled by Mickelson.
By talking about Syracuse leaving the Big East, and that's what Fair can do. He's a scorer, that long left paw. But it's a $50 million exit fee from the ACC. And I think that tells you kind of where both leagues are. And I think the ACC is very vulnerable to losing a couple of more teams.
Carter Williams, no. That clangs away. Mickelson for the rebound. You feel a window opening up now all of a sudden for Arkansas. Slick pass underneath. Mickelson draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. This is where Arkansas has been very effective shooting free throws so far tonight. Trish with his third foul. So the second Syracuse key man who has picked up 3 fouls now.
Well, Kai Madden is a playmaker. He's a big guard, 6'5". Again, Arkansas has 2 or 3 guys that have been able to get inside that defense and make Syracuse foul.
Mickelson with the miss. He set a school record for block shots by a freshman last year. The 6'10 sophomore blocked 72. In one game against Texas Southern, he blocked 7. And more pressure.
Syracuse has handled it so far very well. Michael Carter Williams doing a good job of keeping the ball in the middle third of the floor, which you must do against Arkansas in this building.
6'5", 6'6" guard with great vision. Sutherland, that one through again, and he's back on target.
You cannot be there too soon on James Sutherland right now in this ball game.
He has 25 points. Tipped away, controlled by Syracuse eventually. So they force the turnover. 6-point game. Here's Sutherland lofting another. Yes!
That is incredible.
Wow.
Now that time Arkansas was at least in his shot pocket a little bit. Well, this guy is putting on a clinic. I have not seen anyone in college ball this year so far shoot the ball as well as 43 and orange. Bam.
28 points, Jimmy. 8 out of 11 from three-point land tonight.
Pull and replace action. You're going to see the roll man dive, and the replace guy is going to be the shot. Watch what happens. There's the roll, there's the replace, and the replacement is Sutherland. Bam. The roll guy attracts the defense for 1 second, gets the defense to bite. Sutherland comes along from behind and makes you pay.
Now the record at Syracuse University for three-pointers made is co-held by Andy Routens, who had 9 against Coppin State, and Jerry McNamara, who's now an assistant coach alongside Jim Boeheim, who had 9 against BYU in the NCAA tournament. Stolen away, Syracuse on a run on, laid up and in by Carter Williams.
Carter Williams, think about this. He gets 1 steal per every 7 minutes and 45 seconds that he's on the floor. Best in the nation.
8-0 run that again has quieted the crowd here at Bud Walton Arena, which can be one of the noisiest places in the country. Wade bouncing for Powell. And a whistle, a reach-in foul with 17:39 to go. Sutherland with a bemused look on his face. That's going to be his 3rd foul. Jim Boeheim not happy at all on this one on the sideline.
Might be the only guy that can guard Sutherland as the officials. I thought he had a pretty good trap going.
Now the Razorbacks.
No, that will
Picked
never
off.
work. That will never work against the length of Michael Carter Williams.
And they get a quick break on the other end, and Trish lays it in. Syracuse in a little bit of foul trouble with Fair, Trish, and Sutherland all with 3 right now. Bump there and a foul. That'll go against Arkansas here. A lot of fouls, a lot of whistles blowing here in the second half.
Arkansas trying to screen the top of the zone with Powell. But that screener cannot get his feet wider than his shoulders and initiate the contact, and that's exactly what Powell did.
Fair, nice move there to wriggle in for 2.
Everything's working right now for Syracuse in the half court. Sutherland has opened up a lot of plays for other people with his ability to stroke it.
And that's caused a big crowd here to sit on their hands all of a sudden. A 12-0 run, Jimmy.
What was Syracuse's biggest lead in the first half? Did it get to 15 in the first half?
It was 15.
That's where they are again.
Powell strong to his left. No. Rebound tipped. And kicked out of play by Wade. Right back over to Syracuse it goes. And for Boeheim and Syracuse, a rare non-conference road game. Last 10 seasons, that's the list.
The last 10 seasons. That's the only time they've gone on the road for a true non-conference road game. And you know what? Been pretty good at it. It's a lot of W's on that screen. Well, Arkansas has to get shots, and they have to get the ball off the board right now.
Carter Williams on the attack, no. Here's Young in the opposite direction. Williams with a long one. Air milled it. Young will lay it in, however, the right man at the right spot. A pass tipped out of play off of Syracuse. Moussa Keita, the 6'10 junior from Senegal, tried to run to the other end of the floor and nearly beat everybody.
Jim Boeheim showing him, got to catch the ball like a wide receiver, had your hands turned wrong. But Jim Boeheim loves the passion and the purpose and and how coachable that kid is. Still very young as a basketball player.
Young, long distance, picked off. Back out for Wagner. Cook gives it up in the lane. Tough shot blocked away by Fair. That had little chance of being successful with all those orange shirts in the lane. Here's Sutherland again. Front rim, that one. He makes one more. He ties the Syracuse record for threes made in a game. And the foul against the Orange here with 15:28 to go. We'll take a timeout as well. Scores Thursday and Friday. And right now the Big East leading the challenge 4-2 after South Florida's victory over Georgia.
Dave, I watched that Florida Marquette game last night. Yeah, you know what? You can't coach basketball if you're having to coach effort. And Florida, to me, played harder than anyone else I've seen in the month of November. And their half-court offense, I tweeted about last night, as good and crisp and clean as anyone I've seen so far.
Wagner drops in a three, and now you wonder, does Arkansas have a big run in them? Plenty of time, 15 minutes to go. Every time it looks like the Orange are about to blow them out, there's a big turnover, and Arkansas hits a shot to get a little bit closer. Foul at 15:06 to go.
Arkansas only 2 out of 13 from the three-point line right now in this ball game.
Clark with his second foul for the Razorbacks. So Trish to put it in. Tipped, and Young has it. They've got a 4-on-2. Wagner bouncing here. Williams, good hesitation, and he got it to go. He'll go to the line. The foul and one. That is number 4 on Sutherland. It's a major development for Syracuse.
Absolutely it is. Boy, terrific job by Wagner using the free throw line on his end as a yield sign. Not a stop sign, a yield sign. What's the traffic telling you to do? This is the yield sign right there. It doesn't mean stop. It means read the defense and make sure you take what it gives you. That is a great job of Wagner understanding the use of the free throw line in transition. Pause, read the traffic, merge with the traffic, and do what the traffic is telling you to do with the basketball. Go Carter Williams right now in his first true road game of the year, and he's done well.
Ja'Cory Williams, a freshman at the line, trying to complete a three-point play here.
What killed Kentucky last night? Point guard play on the road. Didn't have one. Don't have one right now.
An 8-0 run on a fortunate free throw to make it 57-50. Sutherland in trouble and fouls with 4.
I would get a shot on the box right now if I'm Syracuse.
Foul here with 14:48 to go. As Carter Williams went to make a move on the baseline. Young holding him up. And he commits the foul. That'll be number 2 on B.J. Young. Trish gets that one cleanly to the backcourt.
They have Arkansas playing hard. They're playing extremely hard, but fouling negates effort. Arkansas can't allow Syracuse to score a lot of points from the free throw stripe if they have a comeback in.
Trish in, no. Syracuse's best scorer tonight with 28 points is on the bench. Sutherland has had an incredible shooting game, but saddled with 4 personals. You would think they would turn to Trish, who came in averaging 15.
Now look at Arkansas's lineup. B.J. Young, the only real scoring threat on the floor for Arkansas. Can they get him the ball in a scoring spot? They
get it to Williams, well short. Rebound comes to Young. Never touched the rim. 5 on the clock. Young inside for 2.
Just had to go get his own, and he did.
Trying to answer Carter Williams. That glances away. Very quick shot, but a foul here. A whistle with 13:48 to go will go against Arkansas.
I look at Jim Boeheim's demeanor right now. I mean, a lot of coaches would be throwing their coat, kicking chairs because of the poor shot selection of his point guard on the road. What does he do? Stands up, gets his attention, calm demeanor, trying to stay calm in chaos. If your head coach can't do it, your players can't do it.
Ricky Scott with a foul. Syracuse has it. Fair trying to dribble through heavy traffic, lost it. Now a tie-up on the play, and a possession arrow will keep it on this end. So it'll be Syracuse ball, 13:35 to go. 57-52. We take a look at our ultimate drive of the game, brought to you by BMW.
B.J. Young is always in attack mode, and great recognition to know the shot clock was winding down, and just a little bit, boom, of an eye fake and a shoulder fake, and great quickness to whip his defender.
Young to the bench, but that probably will not be for very long. 23 points. Syracuse has missed their last 4 shots. Arkansas has tightened up defensively.
And they're going to have to be really tight defensively with B.J. Young on the floor because they have no scores on the floor.
Banked in by Musakita, a 6'10 junior, off the window. That settles down the crowd a little bit. 59-52.
Boy, a critical time for Arkansas to stay in this ball game with B.J. Young on the bench.
Now another quick shot by Arkansas and a miss by Wagner. Carter Williams. Trish is open. Had missed everything. Madden on a handoff. They swing it up for Wagner. Now Scott. Scott will loft it from the corner. Big rebound by Coleman. He's fouled over the back with 12:38 left.
Today, Ricky Scott is 1 for 3 from the three-point line coming in. And he took a challenge shot from that corner. And that's Arkansas's dilemma right now. You got to get some rest for B.J. Young. But when you do, you have no offense. Now, Marshawn Powell checking back in certainly helps Mike Anderson's cause.
So it'll be Coleman, the big freshman from upstate New York, to go to the line. Came into tonight's contest having made just 6 out of 13.
And this has been a hard game for him to play in because of the speed and quickness that Arkansas throws at. He will demand some double teams this year in the Big East as a first-year player.
Trish to penetrate. Difficult shot, rolls off the rim. And it'll go the other way. Arkansas has it with 12:29 to go.
I expect Mike Anderson to try to get to the next TV timeout with B.J. Young on the bench and then come back in. So he's buying time for B.J. Anderson around the next TV timeout, doubling his rest time by doing it. A good pass. Another one.
Inside for Powell. Boy, they moved it beautifully on the interior.
Well done. Back-to-back low passes under the arms of that tall Syracuse zone.
Fair from the corner. No. Williams out of the pack, nearly turned it over.
What did the traffic tell him to do? At the yield sign, the traffic told him to stop. Right decision.
Young on the bench. Sutherland on the bench. At least right now, 11 and a half minutes to go. Madden driving with 10 on the shot clock. Poke from behind, stolen by Trish. And here he comes all the way to the iron to lay it in.
Boy, great craftiness by Brandon Trish. You leave that ball behind you against the length of that zone up top, it will be the other direction in a hurry.
Spin move, Powell up and in for 2, and a fast strike by the Razorbacks. 61-56.
And now Mike Anderson has B.J. Powell set to check in. The next dead ball will be the TV timeout. So he has accomplished what he wanted to do.
Here's Trish straight on. Yes, all net. Boy, he's made a couple of big plays.
Boy, how competitive was he when the ball went through the net.
Another dish underneath Powell. Likes that spin move. Up, no. 64-56. Some breathing room here for Syracuse. But as we mentioned at the top of the show, and Mike Anderson preaches to his team, is win the last 10 minutes of the game. Here's Trish. Yes, again. Another triple for Brandon Trish. And a timeout, Arkansas.
Yeah, it was. Shot. Yeah, about the 6th or 7th overtime. Well, great conversation with Jim Boeheim. You could kind of hear the brokenness in his voice when he talked about what's happening to all he's ever known, the Big East. It is not at all what it was in his tenure.
I think more than a little sadness there. Seems like Jim is intent on shepherding them into the ACC. But that might be a decision for another day. The bounce for Powell. The kick here for Scott. Can't bury the jumper. A fight for the rebound. Stripped. Trish comes away with it. Trish has the hot hand, and that continues. He has taken over the game.
Hot hands and strong hands, because it was a 50-50 ball that Trish just got his paws on and wouldn't let go.
Clark with an answer from three-point land.
Syracuse just can't put Arkansas away. Not yet, anyway.
So indeed, Trish has been the answer with Sutherland on the bench. The teardrop around and in by Carter Williams.
You know, he's not the quickest guy, but his first step, he covers ground with his first step extremely well.
Powell working very hard. Here's Clark. Wagner's open for a long one, and he swished it in, a three-pointer.
A good job by Clark to turn down a covered-up shot to get a wide-open shot.
Sutherland at the scorer's table to come back in. But the way Trish has been shooting, he's shooting the lights out. Here he is again. Wagner into the lane, gave it up for Clark, and he was tripped and fouled on a play with 8:41 to go. Fourth foul by Carter Williams. Now, Brandon Trish, 10 of the last 12 Syracuse points have come from him, 17 in the game.
I think great
half. And they only led briefly in the first half when it was very early. Clark at the line. So Cody Clark Jr. out of Birmingham, Alabama. He has been their leading rebounder in the first 5 games of the season for the Razorbacks.
And leader in terms of free throw attempts, and he's doing it off the bench.
Meanwhile, Nolan Richardson looking on. The head coach won the 1994 national championship here. 390 wins in his career.
And he is why Mike Anderson is now on that sidelines.
That's his mentor. Trying to play a similar style. Of course, that Arkansas team had a lot of great players. On line turned over by the Razorbacks have it.
5-on-3 as well. You've got to convert on this one.
Young to Clark. Has some in the lane and throw it right to Christmas. And he zips the pass down the other end and able to knock it back into play, but right to the Razorbacks, and they have numbers.
That's 5-on-4.
Carter Williams getting back into the fray. Wild pass again, nearly stolen away by the Orange.
Boy, terrific effort by Syracuse to defend a 5-on-3 and then defend a 5-on-4.
The corner jumper not there, and the rebound comes out high to Carter Williams. Syracuse in possession, fair down the lane. They left him go all the way through.
That is just too easy.
Wagner trying to push the same tempo. 7.5 left here. 10-point game. You mentioned it, Jimmy. Syracuse has not been able to shake Arkansas. They've been in striking distance most of the night. Powell, strong move. He got it. Marshawn Powell's had a good second half. Very active with 13. Fair quickly on the attack and an offensive foul. That'll go against C.J. Fair.
Yeah, C.J. Fair had nowhere to go. Taking the ball in traffic, doesn't read what's going on with the defense. Here's the effort, though, I'm talking about. Bam, up into row 8 and then immediately back into the play.
Syracuse has been trying to put Arkansas away all night long, unable to do it. Now the Razorbacks have the ball back. Now they're looking for a really hot hand. It has been B.J. Young as Wagner tries to get inside.
I still think you've got to try to get that ball to the logo and face up and make a play. Powell's the guy that can do it. There's the catch.
Powell put it down, draws the foul with 6:46 to go.
Syracuse will adjust their defense as the game goes on. Initially, they'll see what you're going to do when you get the ball to that spot on the floor. And as this game has gone on, they have slowly crept the middle guy in that zone closer and closer to the playmaking ability of Powell.
Trish has picked up his 4th foul, so he's going to have to leave. And Trevor Cooney, the freshman from Wilmington, Delaware, redshirted last year, comes on for Jim Boeheim.
You know, and I project Syracuse. I think they're one of the top, 10, 12 teams in the country right now, the way they've been playing. But their depth in the backcourt is certainly a concern. They have 3 guards. They really only have 1 point guard, and that's Michael Carter-Williams. But you know what? Kentucky cut down the nets last year with 1 point guard. You can do it. It can be done.
Well, for Boeheim, his top 3 scorers all have 4 fouls. And a lot of time left. 73-67.
What Syracuse can do, Dave, is turn the ball over and allow Arkansas to get a 4 or 6-0 run going and this building explode again.
Pass tip. Got to Cooney. He's going to drive it and stripped and fouled on the play. That was with 14 on the shot clock.
You have fouled a guy that all he does is make 3-point shots. That's all Cooney does is jack up threes. And that was a non-rim threat drive. He was not going towards the rim. No reason to foul Cooney at the end of the play.
Wade fouled him. Cooney, a guy who was stuck behind Scoop Jardine and Brandon Trish and Deion Waiters last year, so a wise choice to redshirt, but misses the first free throw.
You know what they need Trevor Cooney to be this year? He needs to be the Brady Heslop from Baylor for Syracuse. The guy that is absolutely a knockdown shooter when he's in the ball game.
He makes 1 of 2. 2 hottest hands for the Orange have been on the bench now for a little while. Sutherland's back in the ball game. That one tipped.
It's like going against a press the entire ball game, talking about going against Syracuse 2-3 zone, because they shoot the gaps, they lull you to sleep, and then flash through a pass. You must stay alert for 40 minutes.
Wade thought about it, gives it up for Powell. Shot clock down to 5. Long one by Wade, no. Battle for the rebound, no whistle there, and Syracuse comes out of the pack with it. Arkansas in dire need of a stop. Rebound batted free. SU with another chance. Carter-Williams floats it up there for 2. That is his shot.
Boy, he is so good with his length inside. First of all, he's 6'6", but do you see where the release point is for him? Awfully high.
Nifty pass, but a foul in the lane with 5:24 to go as Wade hit the deck.
I watched Michael Carter-Williams prior to his senior year at the Peach Jam, going head-to-head with Austin Rivers, and he was a much better player. Look at the high. That's what I'm talking about. Look how high the release point is for Michael Carter-Williams. 6'6", and doesn't shoot it till the ball gets at the top of the extension. Unblockable for a point guard at that point.
Wade with another one coming here with 5:24 on the clock. Powell will step out from Mike Anderson. And they'll bring on Cody Clark, 6'7" junior.
I remember stepping in the gym that afternoon, watching that AAU game, and all eyes were on Austin Rivers. And I kept watching this kid make play after play after play. And finally they said, well, he's going to Syracuse. And I said, watch out.
Carter-Williams with it here. Wagner trying to guard him. Fair spins underneath and travels with it. So again, that door opens a little bit more for Arkansas.
And Jim Boeheim knows it. He knows he's had opportunities to push this thing out to a 10, 11, 12-point lead, and they have not capitalized. And Arkansas is a shot away from being right smack dab in the middle of this game, and they can't get one to drop. And they can't get a second shot for sure.
That's right. And a quick shot there by Clark as he misfired. And the basket and one. A great drive by Carter-Williams. When that lane opens up, he just attacks it.
He is really good. He rebounds it. He gets fouled. He slithers. And for a 6'6" kid, he understands how to get his waist lower than the guy he's guarding. And he's been guarded by some 5'11", 6-footers in this game, and he still gets lower than them. Well done.
Wade's 4th foul. Look at his assists and turnovers. He came into tonight with 37 assists in the first 4 games.
Remarkable. He gets 1 assist every 3.5 minutes that he's on the floor. The nation's best.
Williams, no. Second effort, Clark. Yes. Oh, it almost went. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. He wanted that 3-point play desperately. 79-68. Musakita with the foul to put Clark to the line.
This kid has made his free throws all season long. 88% free throw shooter, 22 out of 25 coming in.
And drops in the first.
Dave, watch his release point. Remember in the first half, B.J. Young got the ball beside his ear. This kid never gets the ball at that spot. So as a result, that shot arm is going up instead of out.
26 out of 33 for Arkansas. Cooney drives it hard, lays it up. Offensive foul on Cooney.
Was he in the restricted arc? Well, he was awfully close to being in on or above it, talking about the Arkansas defender. Jim Boeheim was pointing at it himself.
He brings Cooney out. The freshman to the bench. 4.5 to go. Arkansas forcing 18 turnovers a game. They have Syracuse at 16.
That was the wrong play by Cooney. Time, score, and momentum dictates the shot.
See if Young can get heated up again. They need him desperately. Williams back to Wagner to penetrate.
Yeah, Young has to want the ball. He's guarding himself in that top corner right now.
Pass slithered in for Clark. Williams shot clock down to 3. That missed badly.
B.J. Young never got a touch of the basketball on that possession. And he should have been option 1, 2, and 3.
Especially down 9.
Absolutely.
Young has 23. Sutherland has 28. Sutherland. Yes, another triple.
Pure. He is pure.
31 for him. Count the basket. 3:29 to go. That's going to be an offensive foul. Offensive game between number 3 Baylor and number 5 Notre Dame. SEC Big East Challenge. Jimmy Dykes, Dave O'Brien with you here from Fayetteville. The Orange with the ball, leading by 12. Carter Williams dancing in. No, not that time.
Does Arkansas have a 14-1 run in them to finish this game? Because that's about what it's going to take.
Well, they get the quick strike as they go back inside for Marshawn Powell. Give him 17. 10-point game again.
And James Sutherland just bounced the ball 5 times, and he throws it away. First time he's had to bounce the ball the entire ball game. Young has to be a hungry scorer right now for Arkansas.
He really hasn't been the last several minutes. Nice fake there by Clark. Here's the shot by Wagner, a long one. That did not touch anything. He's had some ugly shots here. Freshman out of Alexandria, Louisiana, has been off target. So 82-72.
And now it's really hard to bother the size of Syracuse, Michael Carter Williams and Trish. You can't get into the length of this kid with the ball, and you can't get into the big backside that Trish can put on you.
Carter Williams all the way through. Beautifully done off the window.
I'm telling you, he is really good. He is really good. If he had a jump shot, he might be a lottery pick in the next draft.
Young shreds them on the other end, but time is of the essence now. He has 25. But they cannot afford to trade baskets. Syracuse can run clock here.
You got to foul. I mean, you don't have any other option.
Reaching by Clark, he got it. He takes it away, draws the foul and lays it in. How about that play? Big lift from Cody Clark. He got the pick, the basket, and the foul, and he has a chance at a 3-point play.
And Mike Anderson was signaling his guys to come up and get contact, and Michael Carter Williams makes a huge mistake, turns his head to the defense, relaxes at the wrong time. One of the few mistakes the number 1 in orange has made the entire game.
Clark 3 out of 4 at the line tonight. Time starting to run out though on the Razorbacks with 1:39 to go. A 3-point play, however. 84-77. They're still in it.
Arkansas will be in swarm attack mode right now. Keep the ball in the hands of this kid. You're in good shape, I think.
It's a good foul shooter too. Sutherland, a dribble down. Yes. What a night he's had. 33 points for James Sutherland. Came in averaging 15 a game.
He will leave here thinking the basket size in the SEC is bigger than what they play with in the Big East.
Young with a miss.
That's how he'll think.
And the foul by Arkansas stopped the clock with 1:05 to go. Well, they are certainly going to remember his name here in Fayetteville. Help us beat cancer. The V Foundation awarding 100% of direct donations and net proceeds to fund cancer research. Log on to www.jimmyv.org or call 1-800-4JIMMY-V. You can do that right now to donate.
Great games on the air during Jimmy V week. No game is going to be more impactful or more important than donating to that cause right there.
Carter Williams to the line, working on 16 points and in and out on the first one. This, of course, is a very, very tender topic for that man, Mike Anderson, the head coach for Arkansas. He lost both of his parents to cancer. And he told us the story about when he finally made it as a head coach and he went to UAB and had some success. He said going home, he was in his early 40s. His mom was so thrilled for him. She was beside herself with pride that her son had done so well and been a success in his field. And she was gone just months later. It was stomach cancer and a three-pointer there. Timeout, 46.6 seconds. It's a 7-point game. They're not done yet. ESPN College Basketball is available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app.
And you can watch James Sutherland do this on that app. And what is it? It is catch and shoot. Rise and fire, and he's done it at a rapid pace. And he has done this from the time he checked in to the time the final horn's going to go off. James Sutherland has been in complete control of his game. And Arkansas has not made him do anything other than catch and shoot. Has not bounced the ball into a shot one time. And there's number 9. Bam.
And that tied a Syracuse record for three-pointers made in a game. You know, those names are Routens, McNamara, and Sutherland now for Syracuse. Trish giving it up for Carter Williams, who's played such a heady floor game. Foul here with 37.6 seconds to go. Syracuse leading by 7.
Tell you what, there's a good job by Arkansas to quickly recover at the rim and put a 50% free throw shooter on the stripe.
By Musakita. In and out on the first one. Mike Anderson trying to get back to the glory days for Arkansas. Has a very good recruiting class coming in next year. And he said, look, we have the blueprint. It's happened here before.
Yep. He's got some size coming in, is what he has. A 3-possession game. Arkansas has got to go quick. Syracuse doesn't want to foul. You can drive this thing and extend it or let BJ launch.
Young with a miss. Rebound tipped. Battle on the baseline. Powell is there, and he drew the foul. He will go to the line with 25.5 to go. Foul on by Musakita. Powell's a 71% foul shooter.
They've watching Syracuse play in this building. I know Louisville's going to be a handful in that league this year. Notre Dame's going to be terrific as well. I think Cincinnati's a club you have to really keep an eye on, but I think defensively Syracuse could really grow into one of the better defensive clubs that Jim's had because of the length of their guards up top make it so difficult to attack.
A win tonight for Jim Boeheim will be number 895. That would put him at 7 victories away from tying Bob Knight for number 2 all time. Arkansas pressing. The point guard shovels it ahead. It's Sutherland for the dunk. Wow, what a night. 35.
Hadn't had no chance unless you fouled, and Arkansas gave up one at the rim.
Career night for James Sutherland. They will long remember that name here in Fayetteville. Young tips it to himself, battling hard underneath. And tipped away, it'll go in the other direction. Syracuse ball with 3.7 seconds. So the Orange are going to go out to 5-0 on the season. Arkansas will drop to 3-3. And the number 6 team in the country got their first test so far this season. Another whistle with 2.6 to go, so not quite over yet. But Jim Boeheim closing in on 900 wins, and that could come on ESPNU. We've highlighted that game against Detroit. That's if Boeheim wins the next 5.
That next game against Eastern Michigan, the only team in the country that plays percentage-wise more zone than Syracuse is Eastern Michigan. Reason why, Rob Murphy, the head coach, former Syracuse assistant under Jim Boeheim, so they will be squaring off. I know this, if nothing else, James Sutherland has established himself tonight as the front runner for the National Sixth Man of the Year. I don't think it's without any question right now. That's the position he has put himself in this ball game. Deion Waiters was Big East Sixth Man of the Year. Chris Joseph was Sixth Man of the Year a couple of years ago, but I'm talking National Sixth Man of the Year. This kid leads that conversation at the end of November.
Bell with the heave in midcourt does not go, so that's the final score as Syracuse wins a slugfest tonight, 91-82 on the road.